Welcome to Children's Inclusion Support Service presentation on using visuals in your program. My name is Caitlin, and I'm here today with my colleague Alana to share this information with you. Today, we will be discussing the definition of communication. Communication is the act of conveying information or a message through words, gestures, or signs. The key point to remember is that it's an exchange. A child saying a single word is not necessarily communication unless they're trying to share that with another person. We will discuss the different types of visual strategies that can be used to improve communication, as well as how and why they are used. We all learn differently, and adding that extra support for visual learners often makes a big difference. Depending on the child and their individual needs, you may consider consulting with a speech-language pathologist to determine the system or approach that will be most supportive. Expressive communication is the way in which we convey our ideas, thoughts, and desires. Receptive communication is the ability to understand the needs, ideas, and desires of others. Through communication, we can affect our environment, since we don't have control of others' behavior, express and share our emotions, feelings, needs, desires, and plans, express ideas in order to give and receive information, opinions, and advice, and understand others' messages and be understood. I listen and I forget. I see and I remember. I do and I understand. Studies have shown that visual spatial information is processed more easily than auditory information. The longer information remains stable in a given space, the greater the child's ability to process it. Visual spatial information can be viewed for as long or longer than needed to understand it, while auditory information must be processed immediately. Visual strategies. Visuals support the understanding of messages, encourage desired behaviors, support skill development. Adults use visual supports all the time. What visuals do you use in your daily life? We're surrounded by visual cues and aids everywhere. Here are some examples. What do these mean to you? We use visuals to support us all the time. Examples of commonly used visuals we use daily are an agenda, traffic lights, recipes, arrows, bathroom signs, a toxic sign, an exit sign, or even a police officer's uniform. Some common gestures that children use to provide a visual message are raising up their arms to indicate they want to be picked up, pointing a finger in order to get something or show what they want, looking at an adult and then at a toy for reassurance, nodding their head for yes, reaching towards an object with a hand to make a choice, pushing an object away to refuse, or bringing an object to you for help. What visuals are children using in your program? How and why do you use visuals in your program? They can be used for attention, comprehension and memorization, expression, organizing physical space and materials, independence, play and social skills, prevention. Research has shown that as children's communication skills increase, their challenging behavior diminishes. Sometimes acting out is a child's only means of communication or most effective means of communication.
So visuals are essential to gain and sustain attention of both individuals and groups. To capture attention, you need to seek the attention of a person or group, make the connection between the adult and the child, and decide what types of visuals to use. To sustain attention, you need to stay engaged and be animated. Pair verbal and visual cues and ensure the team's actions are consistent. Remember to stay close and speak at the child's level. Visuals are also used for comprehension. They provide information in a way that children can easily understand, make words meaningful, and guide children to ensure that they can see the sequence of events and predict what happens next. Visuals are used for expression. They support a child in delivering a message and are essential in developing communication. They are used to clarify verbal information, communicate needs and emotions, make choices and requests, help express disagreement or make a refusal, stimulate language development. The example on the slide shows a child choosing from a set of visuals to show that she wants to use the Play-Doh. Visuals are also used for organizing physical space and material. They provide structure to help the children understand expectations and boundaries. Lets the children know where games, materials, and equipment are kept, and establish the boundaries of play areas and spaces. In your handouts, you'll see a handout that includes 25 reasons to use visuals, which offers other ideas for where the visuals can be used, such as children's hooks or cubbies or bins, labeling the play areas, and to show when play areas are open or closed. They're also used to indicate the number of children in each play area. Visuals are used to support and promote children in being independent. They help teach children routines, skills, helps children to stay focused on task, and helps them to manage their time. It helps the children to adapt to change, encourages self-control, and explains social situations. It helps the children with transitions between various activities or locations, and helps them to understand the sequence of events. For example, to get dressed, go to the bathroom, or brush their teeth and wash their hands. Visuals are used for play and social skills. They can promote communication between children, peers, and adults. They help children to learn to use new toys, materials, or equipment. They help children to learn the rules of games and explain and understand social etiquette and ethics. For example, unwritten rules for personal space or manners. The social world can be very confusing. For example, people can change and be unpredictable. Visual cues will make the world easier for the children to understand.
Visuals can also be used for behavior prevention strategies. Research has shown that as children's communication skills increase, their challenging behaviors diminish. Visuals can support with developing positive behaviors by helping children to recognize and identify emotions, giving visual warnings for anticipating next steps in routines and transitions or the end of an activity. Let children be part of creating the classroom rules and post them using visuals. Use visuals to communicate expectations and support self-regulation. An example would be putting up stop signs in areas that the children aren't allowed to go. Support self-regulation in busy environments with calm down visuals posted around the room or in the calm down area. Examples of these might include emotions posters, calm down body tools, breathing techniques, or yoga pose posters. This is an example of visuals used in a calm down area specific to the Conscious Discipline program. The example shows a balloon which represents balloon breathing. Remember that the educators need to be part of teaching how to use the visuals and exploring the visuals to make sure that they're effective and useful to all children.
This video shows how visuals can be used in a child care program to support everyone's inclusion. Please take some time to view it, and then we will begin with examples of strategies.
Hi, I'm Jane Parry. I work at Glencairn Cooperative Preschool, and we've been using visuals for a long time here. We started off using them with our special needs children and then realized that they support all of our children. So we use them for many different reasons. We use them if we have someone that doesn't like the sandbox. We'll say, let's do this first, and then you can go back to the toy that you prefer if somebody's having trouble leaving an area. usually we will present them with this one and say, when I come back, we'll be going to the sandbox. So it's not as if we give them time to process what they're seeing, and that they will come back to the toy that they're at. So each of our toy areas will have one, a card in it, so the child can, if something's not there that they want, they can point to the toy, or they'll just say, we need that one, if they're a chatty little child. And we also, on their cubby areas, each of them have a dressing strip that is on their cubby, so they know that their snow pants go on first, their boots on next, their jacket and their mittens go on last. And each child has that on their cubby. It's also on the wall, and that helps a lot with dressing, because we can just point to the next one and they go, oh, and off they go and get that article of clothing. We have photo ones for children making choices. If they're having struggle getting into play, they can come and choose something to do, and we can support them when they bring the picture to us. And once they get good at that, they're pretty good at picking one and taking themselves to that area to play. We also use them if they need any deep touch, or like a roll, if they want to be rolled with the big roller, they'll bring us this picture, which helps them when their emotions are elevating and they need some downtime. We have ones, if they're not feeling happy, they can tell us that they'll bring us the picture showing that they're sad or that they're mad, and then afterwards we ask them how they feel, and they'll move the happy picture to here after we've talked to them or they've explained to us what the problem is. For little guys needing to de-escalate, we also have one that we have a little candle and a little flower in a box, and this card goes in there, and when they feel their emotions escalating, you'll see them over there blowing the candle or smelling the flowers, whichever they feel will help them. We have visuals for most of the songs that we sing. We have, if we're working with a child with a low vocabulary, we might pick 3 songs and they can point to the one that they want to sing. As they get used to that, picking a song, or if we're using it in circle, we'll have a bag with all the songs on. Children can put their hands in, pull out a song, and then tell us what it is, because the picture will show them what song it is, and then we'll all sing it, and then it's the next person's time. The whole circle loves that one because it's easier for them to make a choice when there's a visual there in front of them. We also have stop and go all over the classroom on a visual. We play running games where we hold up stop and they stop, and then we turn it the other way and it's go and they go. We also talk at the same time, it's not just with visuals, so they get used to stop and go. We also have stop, wait, and go. So if we're working on someone waiting for their turn, we use stop, which they're now used to using, and then we have yellow wait, has dots on it, and you can count along, wait, 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 and then it's your turn. We also have my turn and your turn, which is a hard concept for some of them to get, when to say my turn and when to say your turn. So we have visuals. A lot of the, well, some of the children in the classroom are very good readers, and they will read my turn, your turn, and that helps them with their expressive language. Oh, we also have them for snacks. So when we provide the main part of the snack, and we put the visual up for that one, and then when the children bring in the fruit, they get to choose the picture and put it up. So today we have popcorn, cantaloupe, and apples, and that's the pictures on the wall. So the children can see that's what their snack is for the day. We have it in the bathroom. We have a bathroom schedule. The pictures for toileting are numbered, and they're quite often sitting on the toilet counting 1, pull down your pants, and 2. So those are right by each toilet. And then we have the hand washing ones on the mirror. So when they get to the wash their hands, they can see the steps that they need for washing their hands. It makes them more independent.
Water. Water on. Okay, let's turn the water on. Roll the face here. Water on. On. Ready? On. Now we need. What do we need? Soap. We need soap. There's the soap. Soap, yes. Ready? Push. Soap. That's it. You gotta rub your hands. Scrub, scrub, scrub. Scrub, scrub, scrub. Scrub, scrub. Now we have to rinse. Rinse your face. That's good. That's right, sir. You scrubbed your hands. Now you turn the water off and look, you have to dry hands. Let's go dry our hands.
At transitions, we have a card for everybody because they love picking their card. And when we do the tidy up, we give them a 2-minute warning, a 1-minute warning, and then we have a triangle that we hit for tidy up. So, and they will go and get a tidy up card, or we will give them one if they're struggling to tidy up, and they know, you'll see them, their faces go, because they know it's tidy up time, and they don't want to stop playing. But once they have the card, that seems to support them in that. And then we'll trade that card for a hand washing one, and they'll go and wash the hands. And then when they're in the bathroom, they get their snack card. So we have 16 of those because all the children love to have their snack card. And we also have a visual schedule on the wall, so when a child starts, we can say, oh, we're playing, but soon we're going to tidy up, wash our hands, have snack, have a story, and go home. So the visual's up there for them to see. And we also have smaller schedules around the classroom so they can look at that quickly and be reassured that the day is going to end and mum and dad are coming. We also use them for emotions for the children. I showed you we have them for when they need to de-escalate, but we also have them for labeling their emotion, because sometimes they don't know whether they're mad or they're sad or how they're feeling. So we have pictures of happy faces, sad faces, surprised faces, scared faces on quite a few of the mirrors in the classroom. So the children can look at their faces and see how they look, because maybe you're sad, but your face is saying you're angry, and they begin to realize how they're looking and how their emotions are expressed on their faces. Love the fact that all the children like the visuals, and children that you wouldn't even, well, that don't need them, they'll come and bring me a card because they want a story read to them. And they're asking as well, but they'll bring the card to reinforce what they're asking for. We've seen such an improvement in all the children. Like I said at the beginning, we originally used them just with our special needs kids, and then we realized that they all wanted a wash your hands card. They all wanted a snack card. And just having that visual calms them down. If they're not sure what's happening, you can just whip a card out. If we're changing rooms, we can show them the room they're going to, and they immediately de-escalate, and off they go. So visuals are huge in helping our children stay calm, make transitions, and just enjoy life in the classroom. It takes so much stress out of the day for them.
Strategies. Now we will discuss strategies with specific examples of how they can be used in your program. Examples of visuals for behavior support include square breathing, emotion cards, calm down tools, and zones of regulation. Zones of Regulation is a pre-created self-regulation program with many resources available for download on the internet. Other examples of pre-created self-regulation programs is the Conscious Discipline Program and the 5-point scale. Concrete objects are tangible and easily handled items used to capture attention and develop understanding. For example, you can show a diaper for toilet, a bowl to indicate it's snack time, a cup to indicate drink, and a paintbrush to indicate it's time for art. Concrete objects are also used during circle time. Many children are visual learners, and using props for story will help them to understand the story and maintain their attention. For example, using a stuffed animal monkey for the 5 little monkeys jumping on the bed, or using felts for storytelling. When possible, give a prop to a child to hold will help them to stay engaged and connect to the story. Natural gestures are movements used to convey a message, such as waving hello or goodbye, to beckon someone to come here, point with a finger to indicate or ask for something. For a song or a nursery rhyme, such as the Itsy Bitsy Spider, you can use your fingers to gesture the actions in the song. Or for an activity such as Duck, Duck, Goose, you can use gestures such as touching the person's head to indicate whose turn it is. Children that are already using gestures are more likely to pick up sign language more easily. Be aware of cultural differences when using visuals and gestures. Sign language is a visual language involving parts of the body such as hands, arms, and facial expressions. The most commonly used type of sign language is ASL. Baby sign is a version of ASL, but includes more natural gestures or simplified signs. These examples of sign language theme boards are for specific activities that could be posted in an area of the classroom. Commonly used websites for signing are signingsavvy.com and handspeak.com. A common misconception is that teaching sign language means that your child is less likely to learn how to speak. This is not true. Your child is actually more likely to speak once they have a system of communication. The benefits to sign language is that it is more accessible for the child to use. Pictures are not always available. When you model a word, you can support the child to approximate a sign, even if they are not able to say the word. Pictograms are photos, images, and symbols. They can be clip art or real pictures. Often, real pictures are easier for the child to associate with the actual item. The benefit of clip art is that it can represent many items. For example, a picture of a ball can indicate any ball. They are used in everyday life. They provide structure in our environment. They help to reinforce rules, expectations, and boundaries. They are universal and help to generalize information. And they provide visual cues so that children can associate them with a word or an action. For example, these are transition visuals used to show a child what activity will happen next and to give warnings. A pictogram can also be used to pair with an object to teach the child the picture represents that item, which they can later use to make a request. A sequence strip is a series of images depicting a task divided into a logical sequence of steps. Show the steps of a task from left to right. Help children to stick to a task by guiding them through the steps, and they help to develop autonomy through repetition. Activities you might want to use a sequence strip for are toileting, hand washing, dressing, or anything that can be broken down into smaller steps. You could use a sequence strip for.
First then strips. First then is a short sequence depicting a job or a task to complete and what will come after. First then strips help children understand order and sequence. They help teach children to prioritize tasks. They help to develop autonomy. They can be used to communicate the sequence of events, or it can be used to motivate a child to complete a less preferred activity. For example, first washroom, then snack. Based on the child's ability to understand, you could add next steps to the sequence. So for instance, in this picture, it shows first circle, then toilet, next snack. A visual schedule is a series of images that provide structure and depicts a sequence of events. They're a visual representation indicating the order in which activities will take place. It informs children of activities that will take place during a given day, helps children anticipate future activities or events, helps children identify unforeseen events or changes in their day, and helps to develop an understanding of time. These are examples of visual schedules that could be used. There are visual schedules where pictures are removable when the activity is complete, and some could contain a finished or an all done pocket at the bottom where you would put the card once the activity is finished. It can be used for a full day, or it could be used for a specific routine. So for example, the ones that you have on your screen, there's one for a full day of activities. And then there's one that is just for circle time. So we'll show this for an example. So this is the one that you can see on your screen. And so it would say, the first activity is say hello, songs, read a book, and instruments. And then once one activity has been completed, the child would remove it from the strip and then place it. This is a pocket in the bottom. Oops, this is a pocket in the bottom. And then they can remove it as the things are completed and place it in. So sometimes you'll have a visual schedule where they're removable like this, and some people would choose to have a visual schedule where it would just be posted sort of on the wall and nothing would be movable or removable. A choice board is a selection of images that allows children to choose activities or objects. They help the child to make requests for what they want. They help ensure a wide range of items to choose from. The choice board will indicate what is available, and it encourages involvement during play. In the example, there are choice boards for songs and snack time. Depending on the child, they may be indicating their choice by pointing to the picture or by removing it from the choice board. The PECS, or Picture Exchange Communication System, enhances communication through the exchange of pictures. So PECS is a complex communication system that is recommended by a speech pathologist involved in the program or with the child. It's an image-based system that enhances communication for young children with social and communication needs. The system consists of several phases and stages and is specific for each child. It should be used by the child across all their learning environments. For more information about the development of PECS, you could search for the creators, Laurie Frost and Andrew Bondi. So this is an example of a picture exchange communication book, or a PECS book. This book has lots and lots of pictures in it, but it's a multiple step process. So when you would be starting with a child who's new to the system, they would be starting with a single picture on the cover of the book in order to ask for one specific thing. And then as they're able to exchange pictures, their choices would increase and you would get more and more pictures in the book. Social scripts. So social scripts, or social stories, are simple, short, and descriptive phrases accompanied by images to teach a specific skill. They're a social learning tool. Social scripts and social stories teach children what to say or do in a given social situation. They're written from the child's perspective, and they usually contain images to facilitate understanding. A social script, as opposed to a social story, can be more instructional. It's often shorter and with simpler and more direct language than a social story. So these are some examples of social stories. We have one that says what to do when you are sad or angry. You could have a social story on how to play a specific game, a specific script for interacting with others, or for preparing for a transition, such as starting school. And we have an example of the starting school social story that we'll share with you. So it says, I am going to school. I am new to school. It might be bigger and have lots of new kids. Some children come to school on a bus. I might miss mommy or daddy, but my new teacher helps me and is happy to see me. There will be new friends to play with. I keep my coat and my backpack in my own cubby. I keep my lunch and extra clothes in my backpack. I will have lots of time to play. We will have group time where we read stories and sing songs. I will eat my snacks and lunch I bring from home. Recess is where we'll play outside. My teacher says, I'll see you tomorrow when it's time to go home. Written words are used to express an idea and to identify objects or places. So our example shows a sequence of events, but instead of it being using pictures, it's the words. So the words for toileting: pull pants down, sit on toilet, toilet paper, pull pants up, wash hands. So for children with strong reading and language skills, and maybe some older children, such as school-age children, they may be able to follow a list without the need for pictures, but that's technically still a visual cue. What is your role in teaching children how to use visuals? So with this, we have some frequently asked questions about how to use visuals in programs, and we'll go over those with you now. Where would you put visuals when you're posting them in a childcare environment? So with this, you're going to want to make sure you're posting visuals at the level where the children can see them rather than where you can see them. You want to start by posting visuals that represent the most popular or most requested items in the classroom. How do you ensure children understand what the visuals mean? Teach what each visual represents by pairing it with the object. For instance, when you were giving each child their water bottle, you would also be showing the water visual. You would show the music visual before pressing play on the speaker. How can you increase the children's ability to understand and attend to visuals? Again, you need to make sure that the visuals are at the child's level. If a child isn't looking at a visual, you may hold the visual in your own hand and tap it with your finger to draw attention to it. Thank you for listening to our presentation today. Some commonly used resources for creating visuals yourself. You can access BoardMaker online or lessonpix.com. Signing Savvy and Handspeak are the two websites that were mentioned if you're wanting to look up sign language signs and get videos on how to do sign language signs. Connectability provides resources and tip sheets, and you can always talk to your resource consultant about accessing our resource library for more information. Thank you for joining us in this presentation on how to use visuals in your program. Please consider following us and Inclusion Ottawa on Facebook and Instagram. Have a great day.